afternoon, Jesus.
Yes.
So you guys can say hello because you're off mute. Hey,
everybody.
Hello.
Do y'all see this lineup I have in front of me? Y'all don't even know. Like, it's really, really, really about to go down. So welcome to the Right to Heal broadcast. The afternoon session. For some of you, it just may be lunchtime. So, hey, you get a little dose on your lunch break and then go back and then come back tonight at 7. So I'm really super duper excited to that you guys are joining me. If this is your second day, you were with us yesterday, you already know we about to bring it. We about to light the stage on fire. And if you didn't join us yesterday, why not? I don't understand. I mean, I'm like, everybody want to see me. Okay, so I'm Jay. I'm the founder, CEO of Jay Publishing. I'm a hybrid publisher. I teach authors how to turn their pain into paper. But it's not even about me. So I'm not going to even tell you a whole lot of what I do. You're just going to have to come back later at the end of the week to know about that. But for right now, I have amazing friends that I want to introduce you to. And I'm really excited that they said yes to the call, because, you know, today we're going to talk about things that are out of the norm. Now, this whole platform this week, the reason why Valentine's Day this week was chosen is because the world seems to focus on, you know, buying chocolates and flowers for your intimate partner. But how many of you know that your intimate partner should first start here? And so I decided, like, hey, why don't we focus? Why don't we put some attention? Why don't we shed some light? I'm saying all of the entertainment stuff, the entertainment words, because I got a radio personality on the line with me, y'all. And so why don't we show and shine the light on how to love ourselves first, right? And so what does healing look like from within? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how you can be exposed to media, how you can, use cannabis as a healing herb. Ooh, that's going to be juicy. And then we're going to talk about what are some of the things that you no longer need to carry. Like, you need a rite of passage to that thing. Like, you really need to do a funeral. Like, seriously, you need to take that thing, go somewhere far, not even in your backyard. We want you to go really, really, really far, like drive somewhere, take a plane somewhere, take a boat somewhere. And we want you to dig a hole and we want you to bury that thing. Like, we are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Am I talking to somebody? Right? So listen, up first, before I get, because y'all know I'm long-winded. I don't know where they come from. I don't know. But before we go any further, have you shared the broadcast? Because that's what I need you to do. I need you to share that broadcast. I need you to start a watch party. I need you to invite your friends. Because listen, what's the point in growing if you can't take nobody with you, right? If you hang around a bunch of partners, hey, listen, chick, hey, bro, dude, whatever y'all say, because I don't know, I don't know, whatever y'all say to your friends, hey, say, listen, I'm about to grow. I'm about to let go of some stuff. I'm about to learn how to take my book and turn it into a cash machine. You want to make some money with me the legal way? Come on and watch this watch party with me. And so why don't y'all share the broadcast, start a watch party, get your friends to grow with you. Hey, why not? So grab your pen and paper. I got mine, my pen, my paper. Grab your pen and paper. Grab your favorite beverage. I got coffee this afternoon at 7 p.m. It's going to be something different. And come on and learn you something. I'm so appreciative for you sharing your space with us today. For those who have registered, I'm super, super duper excited for you, because you get the goodies. You get hands-on, one-on-one contact with these amazing speakers, with the link that you get to join us in our private room, right? So you get to ask questions, you get to have comments, you get to have dialogue with these speakers, because why not, right? So go ahead and register. If you haven't registered yet, bit.ly/WTH Summit 19. So if you didn't catch that, it's in the description box. So first up, y'all, first up. I'm really, really excited. I said I'm not going to introduce nobody. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. But I'm really excited about this conversation we're about to have because it's such a stigma when it comes to cannabis. And I'm not even going to tell you what cannabis is because if you know about the stigma, you already know what cannabis is, right? So why we're talking about cannabis today, I'm going to let her explain it to you. Hey, Wani. I call her Wani. Her name is Wanjiru. And she's going to tell you more about her name later. So, hey, Wani, thank you for joining us today. I'm excited.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you so much for inviting me to this platform.
Yes. So your topic, Wani, is destigmatizing cannabis and using it for healing. I'm going to let you take it on. You got it.
All right. So let's jump right in. All right. So the way I want to run this is I'm going to give you a little bit of background about myself, a little bit of my story and how I got to want to even seek wellness in the first place. And then kind of give you a little history of what cannabis is and how the stigma came about. And then also how you can use it for healing and specifically what my services entail and how I can serve you with my ways of dealing with cannabis. So, okay, to start off with, basically the other day when I was praying to get ready for this summit, it dawned on me that I named my company Zima 360 Degree Wellness because I wanted to focus on 360 degree wellness, which is mind, body, and soul. But God basically showed me how he brought my personal life 360 degrees. Ever since the day I left my telecom job back in 2010, I had no idea that I would go from being ashamed. I used to be consumed with shame and guilt for, number one, being gay and a Christian, and number two, loving cannabis, right? These are two things that have been with me my whole life. Here we come to 2019, and these same two things that were my shame are now my platform to help heal others, right? God has shown me many things over the past few years about the fallacies that I believed that took away my sense of self-worth. So with that being said, that was one of the things that I was told that I needed to say. Like, I have come full circle, as well as naming my company Zima 360 Degree Wellness. Clearly that was not a coincidence. I guess God wanted me to marry that. I didn't even think of that correlation when I picked the name. Also, so my background as far as how I was drawn to cannabis in the first place, me, just like a whole bunch of other people in the world, had a traumatic childhood. So basically I had PTSD at a very early age, not even knowing what that was. And I also grew up in New York City, and my family's from Trinidad. So if you know anything about New York or the islands, pretty much I was around cannabis my whole life. I love the smell of it ever since the first time it came through my nostrils. So I think that I was drawn to it naturally. But again, how God works, although secretly I was like feeling guilty about using cannabis, here we go again, fast forward to 2019, where I actually have 3 medical conditions and have had them for many years that you prescribe cannabis for. Cannabis was originally prescribed for glaucoma, which I've been diagnosed with ever since I was in my early 20s. The other thing is chronic pain, which I got diagnosed with back in 2008 because I have Sjogren's disease. And then the other thing is arthritis, which again is degenerative. And I've had arthritis again since my 20s. So that just goes to show, I don't think it's a coincidence that I've been drawn to this healing herb ever since I can remember, because clearly my body needs this. Let's see, what else? Yeah, that's the background. Okay, I'm sorry. I had an outline, but it's going out the window. So I'm just going to speak from the heart.
I like for you to do that. Speak from the heart. So, Wani, where was the origination from cannabis? Where did it come from? Where did it derive from?
Okay, so
let's talk about.
Let me give you the background. Let me break it down as far as the stigma and the history and everything. Cannabis has been around since the beginning of time. For all my Bible folks, you go back to Genesis 1, verse 29. God said he has given us all the herbs and flowers and anything that's grown on this earth for our use. Every herb and plant that is made by God has a purpose, whether it be healing, whether it be for food or whatever. Each and everything that God created has a purpose. Cannabis is one of those things that God created and has multiple purposes. It's been used in Indian culture, East Indian culture. It's, again, Egypt. It's been used in the Bible. Israel is a forerunner in researching cannabis because cannabis is mentioned in the Bible a few times. So it also was part of the original anointing oil that Jesus used. It's also part of the aromatics that were used for incense that God considers pleasing, right? Aromatics are pleasing to God. So along with frankincense and myrrh and sandalwood, you can add cannabis to that. For whatever reason, people tried to eliminate cannabis from literature, to make the propaganda has been put out to make us think that it was bad. And that even in America, back in the 40s, hemp, which is where cannabis comes from, hemp was required to be grown by every single farmer. There was a law by the government that required every farmer to grow hemp. However, also during that time, there was an influx of Mexican immigrants, right? And Mexican immigrants, they started hanging with the black jazz musicians. And then all of a sudden, there was this big frenzy to try to vilify cannabis because, I guess we were having too much fun smoking the herb. Meanwhile, it had been sold in pharmacies as medicine for many years. But then all of a sudden, when Hispanics and Blacks started enjoying it and using it for what they consider recreational pleasure, all of a sudden, now it's this evil weed. Fast forward to now, cannabis is great again. All this scientific research has proven that it has so many medicinal qualities.
Oh, Wani, can I put a pin there? Is that how we making America great again? Ooh, okay, I'm done.
That's how I plan on making America great again. Okay, bringing back the hemp. So basically, the history of it is it's very hypocritical in America, the history of hemp and cannabis, because it is a healing herb. It's also very it's used for rope and industrial things. It's very I don't even know, economical. It can take a place of a lot of things that we're using now that are harmful to our bodies. Number one being the opioid epidemic. I have personally met people that have weaned themselves off of opioids and now strictly only use cannabis. I've met doctors that will not prescribe opioids, but they will prescribe cannabis because they recognize the healing benefits of these things. And I've also personally met 2 people that healed themselves within a year from brain and lung cancer using strictly cannabis. They had exhausted chemotherapy and all of these things. The hospital sent them home to die. And the guy's wife was like, look, I'm not going to let this happen. She went and learned how to make suppositories using, it's called Rick Simpson oil. It's a very concentrated form of cannabis oil. She used that regimen and healed her husband within 1 year. No cancer. So this works. That's pretty much it. In a nutshell, it works. Don't believe the hype. Do your own research. But it's out there. It's scientific journals and everything. And more research is coming up day by day. But the other thing about cannabis, the beauty of it is, since technology has come so far, now we have a situation where, okay, so hemp, cannabis, contains two compounds that are the most powerful. THC, which causes the psychotic, feeling high effect, and CBD, which is cannabidiol, and that is the compound that exhibits all of the healing functions, like it specifically targets inflammation. So we have a system in our body called the endocannabinoid system. And what that system does is regulate every other system in your body, like your respiratory, your circulatory, all of these systems, your endocrine system, they're all regulated by the endocannabinoid system, which is directly made to work with cannabis. The chemicals in the cannabis are absorbed into the endocannabinoid system, and that is how these things work in your body. So when hemp was taken out of the food chain, right? Because hemp became illegal. So the cows were no longer feeding on hemp, and you're not getting it in your diet. Now we have all this GMO stuff. Once that was taken out, all of a sudden you see a rise in like autoimmune diseases and things that are directly related to chronic inflammation, which happens to be what cannabis heals: chronic inflammation. So because of the rise of technology, once again, we are now able to extract CBD from the cannabis and leave the THC. So you can actually get all the healing properties without your mind being altered by the psychoactive properties of THC. They're even breeding strains now of cannabis that are strictly CBD. Like they don't get you high, but you still get all the healing properties. So that is the way CBD directly works with you and can heal your body. CBD and THC are both parts of the cannabis plant, and they are healing. Now, certain things like cancer, you definitely need the THC. That is the healing part for cancer. But things like epilepsy, chronic fatigue, Crohn's syndrome, irritable bowel disease, fibromyalgia, any type of chronic pain, chronic inflammation disease, these are things that are helped by CBD. Now, for me, I've been doing my research. Like I said, I've been using cannabis for many, many years to deal with anxiety and to deal with rage and all these other things and chronic pain. However, I always had nerve pain because I also have diabetes, and I had developed neuropathy, which is very painful in my wrist, to the point where I was just thinking that the nerve pain would be there, right? Like I didn't think that it would ever go away. So probably about 2 years ago, I went to one of these events that they had, like a cannabis event, and someone was selling CBD oil. So I said, let me try it. I put it on my wrist and I walked around the event, and I noticed in like 10 minutes, I had no pain after having pain in my wrist for years. So I was like, oh, wow, there's really something to this. So I decided to start doing my research and try to, source my own product. And also, another bad backstory, back in 2016, after many, many years of smoking blunts, which are very harsh for your system, I had 2 heart attacks. And since those heart attacks, I could not smoke anymore, but I still love my cannabis. So I had to figure another way to ingest it because it did help me for all these other ailments. I couldn't smoke, and I also can't take painkillers. So I was looking for edibles. I wanted to find another way to ingest my medicine. So I looked for, different edible forms of cannabis. And unfortunately, most of edibles that I could find were all sweets and cakes and cookies and brownies and stuff that I can't eat, candies and sweet drinks and all of that.
Diabetes. No.
Yeah, right. Now with the diabetes, they trying to kill me. So I decided to create my own lane because I know that there are other people out here just like me who are diabetic, who do suffer with chronic pain and want that complete healing. Because not only does the herbs and the cannabis and the herbs that I cook with, the complementary herbs, not only do they heal your physical body, but they also work on anxiety and stress relief and, emotional healing as well. Because sometimes, you might be going through trauma and you want to just relax and let your mind get all of those those thoughts, those self-doubt thoughts, you know, they kind of come at you racing when you have an anxiety attack. So this is what cannabis and CBD does for you. It'll relax that, it'll relieve that for you. So again, I decided to create my own lane for people just like myself, who you the knowledge of how to cook and how to do things for yourself, but because of whatever reason, perhaps you might be in pain that day, or, you know, you might be in the throes of something that, you know, you just don't want to take the time to take care of yourself. I want to be that person that can fix you a healthy meal infused with some cannabis product or CBD product, deliver it to your door, and you feel better. We can do that as a regimen. We can do that as a single thing.
Yeah.
You know, and so I decided to create a line of products that promote CBD edibles. And now that CBD is completely legal across the United States because the hemp bill was passed in December. So now I can legally promote this across every state. I can ship whatever. I make my own seasonings. I make coconut oils and olive oils infused with CBD, along with also I do infuse THC stuff as well. But you know, CBD is basically what I'm promoting on this platform because it is legal and it can serve everyone. There are absolutely no side effects to CBD. You're not going to fall out. You're not going to be in rehab. None of that. There's no psychoactive effects. So
other
it's
than
a win for everybody.
Yeah. So Wani, hey, Facebookers, thank everyone for joining us in the comments are going live. Everyone is understanding, you know, getting a better understanding of what CBD is. And then there are some people in our Facebook like, hey, thank y'all, who are using CBD. So here's a couple of things a couple of points that I want our viewers to take away from this training. Because if you didn't know about CBD, you should know about it now. First of all, Wani was producing words that I can't produce, so it got to be true. Second of all, what I love about this, Wani, is that not only have you done the research, but then you've also explained that there's pros and cons of using CBD, but you also explained that there's a right way to use it and a wrong way to use it. And so and most of the time, the reason why it's such a stigma around weed, stigma around cannabis, stigma around whatever you want to call it, is because they're using it the wrong way. And they only understand the recreation part of it. But what we're talking about is not even about the recreation part. We're talking about the herb itself, right, that was brought and raised from a clean soil, right?
Oh yeah.
And so
organically sourced.
Organic, right? That's what we're talking about. That it was organically from the beginning of time created as a healing supplement, as a healing thing. And so what man did, not me, man, but what man did was take it and they chemically added some stuff to it to take away. But what Wani and I talked about this morning is no matter what you do to this cannabis, no matter how many times you chemically change it with whatever substance that you're putting in it, the root of it still happens. It was created for healing, and you still get that healing effect.
Exactly.
Now, you may get some other stuff from the chemicals, but you cannot change. And this is just how God made us, how we were created. I don't care what divorce does. I don't care what rape does. I don't care what being molested as a child does. At the root and core of me, you can't change my gifts. You can't change my anointing. You can't change who I was created to be. And that's the same thing with cannabis. All right? So, Wani, so that we can really get people to understand how to use it the right way. And I love the fact that you created this whole product line for healing. And I know me personally, I was challenged with anxiety. I was challenged with nerve pain, those two things, right? And when I met you, you began to teach me how I can use oils and food to heal myself. And I remember, you would like put this on there and see if that works. No, put this on. Like she was like the mad science. No, because we knew all the different, there's so many different strands of it, right? Tell
Yes.
people how they can contact you and get more information, get more one-on-one information about the use of cannabis to heal them.
Okay. If you want to contact me right now, you can contact me on Instagram. I actually have a website, which is zima360wellness.com. And it's the same name on Instagram, Zima360wellness. I also have a blog, Wani's World blog. That's also on Instagram as well, where I share spiritual knowledge. And I'm going to be creating more content on CBD and how you can use it in various ways, different recipes and things like that. So you can contact me via email or IG. I'm also on Facebook under the same thing, under Zima360 Wellness.
Yes. Thank you, Wani. And ooh, that was some good stuff. We're gonna have to bring you back because you did. First of all, she called me this morning, y'all. She's like, I don't have 20 minutes worth of stuff to talk about. and clearly she got way more stuff to talk about than 20 minutes. So we definitely gonna have to bring you back, Wani, so we can have just like a whole training on. I think that, the more knowledge you have, the better decisions you can make as it relates to what you need in your life. And CBD is one of those things that I really want to demystify and destigmatize, especially in the church world, especially in the world, because and I'm gonna be truthful. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. 100. Y'all like that gangster talk? Every now and again, I pull my gangster out, right? I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. It's a whole bunch of church folks behind the curtain smoking weed.
Oh yeah.
It's a whole lot of them. It's a whole lot of ministers doing it, and some of them are doing it for recreational purposes, but a lot of them are doing it because they're sick with cancer, with all of these diseases that were created in a lab and put into your belly and put into your body. I ain't gonna tell you about who. I'm just gonna say it was created in the lab. So all of these mental health illnesses that we're faced with, all of these things you never heard of, autoimmune disease. Mm-hmm. That shit wasn't back. Oh, I'm sorry. That stuff wasn't back in the Bible days. I'm serious. It wasn't. Search the word. It wasn't back then. As a matter of fact, I just researched this. The autoimmune disease thing didn't come into play until like the 70s. Mm-hmm. That's when they coined, autoimmune, I got all this stuff going on. And so when they began to take out what was naturally created for us to heal ourselves, and they began to manufacture it, that's when all of these diseases happen. So I want you to get you some knowledge. That's why I'm having it, so you can know how to see. Listen, you can't go into battle if you don't know who your enemy is.
For real.
You'll be fighting the wrong thing with the wrong weapon, right? Mm-hmm. Or what they say, you show up at a gunfight with a knife. That's not what we're doing here. We're giving you information that's going to help you on your healing process. So thank you, Wani, for opening up this conversation, because I know it's going to be live. I know a lot of people are going to have some questions, and a lot of people, you're not going to change people's mind and feeling about this overnight. And so I support you. I'm so glad that you're doing this. And send me something in there. Okay, so next.
Thank you very much.
So next up, y'all, listen, I don't even know if y'all are ready for, I don't think you're ready for this jelly. I don't think you're ready for this. I have like the biggest radio personality. I don't know. I don't think y'all ready. I have Miss Shadonna Stubbs of the Stubbs Show. Let me unmute her. Coming to you live. No, I don't think y'all ready, because when I first met, first of all, when we met like, I don't even know how we met really, but we went on this walk, right? And Shadonna, like we stayed behind on it. We did a walk on talking about, some things, some personal things that we had overcome and things like that. We had come together from a mutual friend, and like we stayed behind and talked, and like the energy and the love and the passion that Stubbs, I call her Stubbs have is just amazing to me. And so to watch her do her radio show, and when I say consistency, let's talk a minute. Let's switch the hat from healing to business, right? To making money, right? In order to be a successful entrepreneur, business owner, in business at all, in order to make money, you got to be consistent and you got to show up, and you got to show up consistently. And I have not seen someone who does it as well as Miss Stubbs. So she's going to come before you today, and she's going to tell you, let me read it because I don't even want to mess it up. Using radio to push beyond the norm. It's on you, sweetie. Take it on.
Woo woo! Hello. Good evening, you guys. Give me a second. I want to clean my screen off because I'm doing a front screen, and I didn't want to do it while Jamie was talking. Hold on for 1 second, you guys. Just really quick. I'm sorry because I have a broken screen and it gives me problems. But I want to make sure I still show up, do my part, and be consistent. Thank you, Jamie, for inviting me. It's nice to meet all these wonderful ladies on this platform to talk about healing and talk about just coming out. That's what I want to talk about, coming out, because before me, she talked about Wani. Is that Wani? Are you okay? I'm calling you Wani because I don't want to mess nobody's names up. She talked about cannabis and she kept it real, and I learned some things. And on today, I hope that you learned. So I'm just going to get it going. Should I jump into it, Jamie? All right, y'all. So first of all, my name is Shadonna Stubbs, as she said. I like to go by the name of Stubbs. That's what people call me. That name was birthed out of a dark place. I know my topic today is using the radio to push beyond the norm, but before you can get beyond the norm, you have to accept that you aren't normal. So the definition of normal is conforming to a standard, being usual, typical, or expected. So a noun for that is average. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be average. I don't want nothing to do with average. Average isn't me. If you're calling me average, I might feel insulted and feel a certain kind of way because I am not average. And that's how you have to show up for your healing. That's how you have to show up for yourself. That's how you have to show up for life every day. Understanding that you aren't normal, walking in your confidence and knowing who you are. So I was thinking as I was going, I was looking over some of the things that some of you guys said that you wanted to hit on. And I know I got 20 minutes, so I'm watching my time. Let me look at it now, okay? I know some of you got to go to lunch. But it says that some of you guys wanted to pull from this. You wanted to know, has God been speaking to you and about delivering a message to others? And you need help communicating this and telling your story to heal past your pain, and how to use your life experiences through writing as a tool to inspire, encouragement, and how to let go and keep it going. We're going to get into those things today because you cannot step beyond the norm, come out and give people all of you and talk about anything until you start addressing and going into your healing place. So just like that cannabis, which is so good for us in so many ways, it's a relaxer for me. It keeps me from jumping down people's throat. Let me be honest about mine, okay? Going into success makes you have to go through a lot of sacrifices, and there's a journey and a process. Cannabis can help you do that. But let's talk about how the cannabis starts. It's the same way your healing is start, through a seed. So my thing was stop being afraid of the dark. From darkness came the light. So I want to start with Ephesians 5:8, which said, for you were formerly darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of the light. There are so many great things that come from darkness. Darkness are those places that you don't want to go back into. Darkness are those things that you came from. Darkness is who you are. And when you go through that darkness to get to that tunnel of that light, I guarantee you, you won't be normal. You come out with a force. Me, a lot of people probably think I'm in my 20s. I'm closer to 40 than I am to 30. But it was through my experiences that made me this woman that I am. I wake up every morning with joy. I love my peace. I love pouring into other people, but that came from going through a dark place. I'm divorced. I've been through homelessness. I've lived in a hotel and had to show up to events looking like this. And when I got done, I had to go back into that dark place and keep building, keep watering, keep pouring into myself so that I can come out like the flower I want it to be today. It's all in you and what you're going to do. So let's talk about the healing process. When that seed goes into the ground, it's just like when you go to the store. When you go to the store, it's just like when you're going to select your vision and your goal in life. You go to that store and you're looking for those seeds. You're looking for that package that you can get so that you can plant in the ground those seeds. And you know that you have to dig. You know that you're going to have to open up a area for this. You're going to have to pull up some roots. You know, you're going to have to clear out this place for this seed to go into that dark place. That seed is your vision. That seed is your goals. That seed is you. You're planting, you're preparing a place so that you could come out on top. Do you hear me? Come out shining, come out confident, come out bold, you know, being that beautiful thing that you want to be on the outside. You're creating your own flower box. So you got to prepare that area. You got to put up borders. You got to know what your standards and what you want from this seed. You got to know what you're going to put into this soil to make sure that this thing is fertilized right so that you could bring it up like the cannabis, right? Wani, we got to make sure we got the right fertilization to put that seed in for it to grow right so we can get some loud and not no Reggie and not no regular. You know what I'm saying? We don't want nothing normal. We want the loudest, the best of the best if we're going to be doing it, right? And that's you. You are the best of the best. You are your greatest creation. God created you to come from that dark to be light. He created you to go through those things to connect with other people so that not only you can come out of the dark, but you're going to teach other people how to come out of the dark. So as you put that seed into the ground, okay, you got to think about what's next with this seed. Because if I leave it there and I forget about it, it's just going to go, it's just not going to do anything. It's going to root up to nothing. It's going to turn into weeds. Now, remember, it's up to you, not other people, because people can walk on that ground. People can cut the grass on there. They can do whatever they want to do on top of that soil. But depending on what you do to that seed inside of it determines what's going to come out. So you're going to water it. You're going to watch it. You're going to make sure no other weeds are growing around it. You're going to maintain it. You're going to keep your notes. And you're going to watch and wait, because when that thing pop up, you're going to take pictures. You're going to be excited. You're going to tell everybody to look at what you did. And if it's a fruit, you're going to eat it. That's what you're going to do with your goals and your life. When that fruit come up for you to eat, you're going to eat it. But in the process of that dark place, you have to start healing. That water is your healing. That's you accepting everything that you've been through. You have the ability to make your outside look as colorful, beautiful, radiant, and as attractive as you want it to be. But you have to go into your dark places. Your dark places is your heart, your emotions, your mindset, your inner being, your health. And look at all of those things and accept it. I am beautiful today. I am bold. I am courageous because of what I've been through. If I wouldn't have been through that divorce of breaking away from something that I was unhappy with and stop pleasing the church and the people because they wanted me to get married, that's why I got married. I stayed in that marriage for the church and my family. I did it for the kids. I did it for society, but I wasn't doing it for me. And I was rotting away, withering into just nothing. I had to go through leaving that. I had to go through people saying I failed at a marriage. I had to go through losing everything. But now, if I lose something, I know something greater is coming. I'm not afraid of falling because I get back up stronger. And because of those things, I'm not normal because I have something to share. I have something to give. I have something to teach. So out of that darkness came this beautiful light. And that's you. That's what's going on in your life. So your healing is going to come through your journaling. Because I seen journaling, we got a lot of authors and people that want to learn to write to heal. That's the first process, writing. Get you some cannabis to start your writing process. You know, that's planting the seed. Then start writing it out. Go sit by some water. Watch the river flow, because things flowing out in the river to your mind is also flowing things out of you. We have a mouth, we have an anus, we have all these things that release. Learn to release. Use your fingertips to release. And I guarantee you, when you look back and start reading about yourself, where you've come from, what you used to do compared to what you're doing now, how you took that seed into that dark place. You know, like photos back in the days, they had to take them into the darkness to produce that picture to come into the light. Take yourself into the photo room and get into your healing place in that darkness and come out shining and write about it. Because I can't pick you up and teach you how to do it if I didn't go through it. So every time something come up for me to go through, I know that there's a league of people I got to lead out. Oh, I just said the other day, send me into the pack of wolves. I'm either going to come out leading them, or I'm coming out with the sword that killed them all. You hear me? Because you have to move like that, and you have to know who you are. So before you step into that place of not being average and jumping onto radio, you got to know who you are. And then use those things. Internet radio is so big right now. It's on social media. Most people aren't listening to anything in their cars, not radio-wise. They're listening to internet radio. They're listening to podcast shows. They're plugging up their phones and listening to YouTube. They're doing all these different kinds of things because they're connecting with people on a different level. And you got to do that too. And I know my topic was using the radio. But until you come out of that place of average, till you go into your dark healing place, until you start accepting all of you and making your flower box and planting seeds, you're normal. There's no need for you to get exposed anymore. You'll put yourself into a place where you'll hurt yourself more if you don't accept who you are first. So I need you to accept who you are, and then come on out swinging, baby. I have the Stub Show. I'm ready to interview you. I'm ready to tell the world about your testimony, because before you can walk as that person that you are, there's a story behind everybody. That beautiful flower box that you send of somebody else, they went through something to get there. Ask them to see their journal. You already got a book if you got 2 or 3 journals. So that's what I want to tell you guys on today. You know, you got to go through to get to. I was homeless. I've had to do something strange for some change. I've had to sleep in my car. I've had to walk into places where they didn't stand me. But after I told them all that I did, they liked me. But I had to push. And you got to push through too. My 20 minutes up.
Honey, listen, didn't I tell y'all this personality right here? As a matter of fact, now I remember how we met, because she allowed me to share my story on her platform. And that's what Stubbs do. You tell her you got a business. You tell her you're trying to do something positive. The first thing she says, you need to come on my show. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plant that seed, you know. Plant that seed in others as well as yourself. Pour into others, basically, you know, and it helps you to grow and it helps you to go further in life. That's what, you know, and using the internet, I'm an internet radio personality, and it helped me to connect with people. But most importantly, before I can connect, you have to know what you're giving out. And a lot of times people don't want it. People are attracted to things that kind of like look like them, sound like them, feel like them. If you have a story of when I was not being myself and I was hiding myself, I didn't pick up people like I did. I didn't pick up people like I did when I started telling my truth. And it was through my truth that I started connecting with people in other states. So just know that people want to hear what you've been through.
Yeah.
And thank you, Wani, for just saying you are you opened up about being gay and you're a Christian and all that. I love it.
See, she just kind of like flew past that part, right? And just went straight to the camp. But see, in the Christian world, that's why I said I need to bring her back on, because there's so much Wani has so many layers to her that she has fought by, and she hasn't shared this with you guys, and I'm going to share it really quickly. Wani and I are working on her book, Memoirs of a Bitter Bitch.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I said. I've been trying to get this book out of her. Listen, so that's coming out this spring, Memoirs of a Bitter Bitch, where she really explains her fight and her journey through the church with coming out that she's gay. I don't even want to say homosexual. I'm tired of being politically correct. She's gay, right? She's a lesbian. She likes women. So
ain't nothing wrong with that.
But her journey in going through life, liking, just being her, and even as a child, the things that happened to her as a child. I'm not going to tell you all about the book. The title itself, you want to get the book, Memoirs of a Bitter Bitch. And then so Stubbs, of course, I know Stubbs going to want you on her show.
Yeah. We're gonna definitely connect.
Yeah, definitely. And Stubbs, there are some people in the Facebook group that wants to connect with you as well. So tell people, Stubbs, how they can connect with you, how they can have this one-on-one conversation with you, how they can be a guest on your show for a fee. Go ahead.
Money. So no.
Right.
I don't know if you guys can see the correct spelling of my name, but you can Google me. If you can't see that, it's Shadonna Stubbs. Also connect with me on my email at world, like the whole world of OF Faith, FAITH at yahoo.com. You can also follow me on The Stubbs Show, STUBBS on Facebook. That has everything on there. From there, you will find out other platforms. I'm on the DMV Community Radio every Friday, 10:30 a.m. And I'm looking to tell your story. You don't have to worry about being the most popular. I just need you to jump outside that box and connect with me, and you can be a guest on the show. Oh, I'm on Instagram, you guys. Trying to get that up. Stubbs_the brand. So make sure you guys check me out.
Yeah, she's amazing, amazing stuff. Thank you so much, sweetie. Thank you so much for sharing your heart. Like, listen, that right there, I'm trying not to pass out. I mean, this whole summit, y'all, like these speakers, when I tell you they're bringing the fire, they are bringing the fire. So thank you so much. Listen, I wrote down so many notes from here. I couldn't even spell the stuff that Wani was saying, but I know her personally, so I don't need to know how to spell it. I just need her to be in my life because I don't know how to spell it. I mean, I couldn't even spell. I'm like, what? What? Who? Are these Egyptian words? I don't understand.
You crazy girl.
Is she talking Hebrew right now? I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway, so Stubbs, when you talked about the flower box, like, listen, I saw a whole book flash before me. Y'all, I'm an author. I'm a writer. I'm a publisher. And I love anything that has to do with that. So if I see a book cover in my head, when I hear words, that thing can happen. So that the flower box, yeah, something's going to happen with that. I don't know who, I don't know when, I don't know how. I just know it's going to happen. Okay. So love, thank you so much for that. And
thank you.
Much love. So you guys, it's lunchtime. How about that good lunch? This is some good eating right here. Like, who has steak for lunch? We having it. Who had lobster for lunch? We having it. Because this is like, these speakers are putting it down. So let me prepare you for the flower of the bunch. I call her Flower. She don't even know that. But listen, this lady has a way with words. I literally feel like I'm reading a novel as she talks. She's like a walking, talking novelist. When she speaks, she has such flowery words. That's why I call her my flower. She has such flowery words that literally puts you in the scene of feeling it. Like she describes how wind feels. Like what she describes she's very descriptive in her talking. So when she decided, when I asked her to be on this platform, first of all, she's a children's illustrator, right? So when I asked her to be on this platform, she like enthusiastically said yes, and has been enthusiastically in my inbox ever since. Okay. So I don't know if I'm more excited to have her on this show right now than you are. And look, guys, guess where she's coming from? She decided that she wanted to be on this show, even though she's in Paris right now. Y'all see that background? Y'all see that back? She's in Paris. No, I'm joking. We asked her, like, Roxy, how did you get that background? She said, I don't know. It came like this. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love her. Roxy and I, when we met through a mutual friend, again, a past client of mine, referred Roxy to me. And her first email was like 3 pages long. And she said, I don't know anything about you, but I got to meet you. Because who referred you, I know you got to be special, just simply because of who referred you, right? And so when she wrote we got on the phone, like Roxy, the first day. It was supposed to have been a 10-minute call. It ended up being 2 hours because that's just how great of a person Roxy is. And so if you can steal me away from my business for 2 hours, you've done something, right? So Roxy is going to come to you, and she's going to her topic. But again, however you are led to speak, you have permission to be you, like, right? And so Roxy's topic is been there, buried that. And so Roxy, it's on you, sweetie. Take it over.
Well, Jamie, I just so thankful to be invited here today. Like the other girls said, I'm so happy to meet you. Laura Johnson, my friend at church, I ran into her, and boy, we had a nice talk, and she just exploded when she started talking about you. And I said, hold on, let me get a pen here. I need to start writing this stuff down. And I mean, it was just amazing. And I saw Laura again last night. Oh, I just love Laura. I need more of her too. As soon as I get off of here, I'm going to make an appointment with her. I need some time with Laura. I don't know if you guys know her or not. Plus I read the book that Jay Publishing did for her. And, you know, I haven't been the same since reading that book. I mean, I don't even know. I got to go back and look at it again. Wani, man, it was awesome meeting you. I'm one of those people that doesn't know nothing about cannabis, and plus I'm old school. You know, I think you figured out now. Everybody calls me grandma. You know, I got 10 granddaughters, if that tells you anything. You know, so everything you said was so informational. I mean, I was trying to, I finally stopped writing. My hand, I got a cramp in my hand. But I probably need to get like a report or something, you know, from you. I don't know. I need to see that stuff again. I mean, just too fast. I wanted to like type on here and say, what the did you say? And, you know, please spell that, you know, and something. I just, you know, I decided not to worry, no anxiety. Breathe a little bit, you know. So I'm going to get this info from Wani, you know, at a better time. You know, I'm just not going to panic today, you know. So, and that's Sedona. Woo! Oh my God, all that stuff about that flower box. I mean, Jamie, you were right. This stuff, I mean, today is on fire. All of our stuff, I feel like, is fitting in. Now, I mean, and look, oh, well, I got a picture to show y'all. I don't know where to start. Help, I got so much stuff to say. Okay, I'm just going to start somewhere. But Sedona, oh my God. I mean, the level, I don't even know how to explain the stuff that coming from that stuff she's saying. I'm like, I don't know what she's got, but maybe I can take a pill of it or something. But I don't know. I don't know. But I want to talk to that girl some more. You know, I want to talk to all y'all some more. But, you know, this I think is really important. You know, if I don't say another darn word and just show you this drawing that I made a few minutes ago, because this darn thing has been in my head for over a year. And I'm like, you know, driving along, you know, ever had a long commute to work and stuff, and you're thinking of all these random things. And so sometimes a lot of the stuff you're thinking about is painful stuff. and you're like sick of it. You know, you're so sick of it, man. Well, I think Wani said you could take that stuff for emotional stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, emotional. I mean, you know, it's emotional, right? But it transcends into physical. Hello. I mean, you know, we got to walk around in this earth with our skeleton, our muscles. You know, we need our physical body to walk around. And if we lose our body, man, our spirit's going to have to go somewhere else. Let's hope it's up and not down. But, you know, I forgot to say anything about myself, so I'm going to skip over that because it's stupid. I mean, we'll talk about that stuff later, next time. You know, feeling bad, you know, depressed, and you're suffering, right? You're suffering, you're driving along, is man, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. You know, and finally you smarten up and you decide to cry out to the Lord. I mean, you know, talk to the Lord a lot, will you? I mean, ask questions. The more questions you ask of the Lord, serious questions like what a little girl would ask his daddy, you know, sit right there and ask him, hey, what's going on with this? You know, and, you know, Lord, why do I have this bad feeling right now? What is this bad feeling all about? Why don't you tell me, Lord, what it is? Because I'm tired of trying to figure it out. And, you know, so he will answer your question. And when the Lord talks to you, it's out of love. You know, when the Lord tells you a truth, it is love. He don't bother saying all the other goofy stuff and all the thorny stuff. He don't bother with none of that evil stuff. He don't have to say, well, that's evil. No, he just says, no, this is the statement of love that you need to follow. But when we're suffering and that devil is tempting us to get out to the cemetery and stand at the grave of the gravestone we are reading, the devil is saying, well, now why don't you, this ain't really dead, you know, you need to bury this some more. Why don't you stand here and grieve a little bit more, you know? And so I got this statement. Let me see if I can show you this. Jamie's going to show, let's see, let me try getting a little bit closer. That darn.
So hold it still, put it in front of the camera and just be still for a second. Don't move it. There you go. So
I'm going to back up a little bit.
All right, there we go. Now just hold it still for a second so everyone can see it. And let me read it for everyone. It says, here lies from the family of emotional pain, so-and-so. Put your name in so-and-so place. Ambition, rudeness, cruelty. July 15, 2008, 9:02 p.m. Waste more time on earth. Ooh, that's good, Roxy. So for those who are registered, you can take it down now. For those who have registered, we're going to post this in the private Facebook group so that you can have it as a reminder. Go ahead, Roxy. It's back on you.
Well, so, I mean, you know, the Lord gives you statements or banners, you know, that comes across your brain. And this one that day was been there, buried that. So when you got that devil and he is reminding you of this stuff that was very painful, you know, we need to learn to stand up to that devil and look him right in the eye. Don't forget, he don't have no teeth. He looks pretty scary, I know, but he doesn't have no teeth. It can't really rip you apart or nothing like that. He can only just make stupid suggestions. Nothing but special effects. Come on, y'all, just special effects. You know, it ain't real stuff, you know. So, you know, just a stupid mind game. But anyway, I wish you could see this in this drawing is a picture of a little devil here. You turn to that devil and you say, been there, buried that. You got to practice. Look in the mirror and practice it. Been there, buried that. You got to learn to say it with attitude, you know, and don't be scared. But, you know, on this gravestone, this is, you know, it says from the family of emotional pain, so-and-so's whoever he is. or she, whatever it is she said or did, you know, her rudeness and her selfish ambition, she ain't gonna apologize for that. He ain't gonna apologize. You ain't getting no apology. So get over it, you know, and excuse me, you know, the enemy, he wants to make you feel like you're in a graveyard and that something died, and he wants you to keep dying over it. He wants you to keep dying and suffering. But you're gonna say, sorry about that, been there, buried that. Ooh, Shadona, oh, this is where she comes in, because you're going to tell the devil, been there, buried that. Then guess what? You're going to plant a new tree. Amen. You're going to plant a new tree. You're going to plant a new flower. You're going to plant something new. You got to go around this stupid. You got to get around this stuff. And there's something else, you know, there's a little devil's face over here on this gravestone. See, he wants you to think that something died in you that's important. He wants you to think about that, right? Something died. And he wants to just pour the gasoline on it, just constantly keeping that alive. Now, when y'all look at this picture of the gravestone, I want you to notice at the very bottom of it is, I don't know what this is called, but it's a real-time counter of chronological time. So I guarantee you the devil is keeping track how long ago this happened. So I'm just going to tell you, this event on this gravestone, it happened July 15th, 2008. But what is today, right? What is today? Okay, I figured it out. This event happened 10 years ago, 6 months and 27 days. And the devil knows exactly how much time on earth you've been wasting. How much time on earth are you going to waste today over this kind of stuff? No more. Been there and done that. It is time that we get into productivity. We need to get into making some money, get into head towards our vision. And if we're driving by the dang cemetery, oh, we're tempted to turn in there. Oh, yeah, let's turn in. No, don't turn in there. You already been there and buried that. You already been there and buried that. So you got to not go over there no more. You planted some stuff. You see that cemetery, you drive along, see that cemetery? No, I ain't looking. Been there and buried that devil. He don't like that. He's smiling in this picture. He's smiling because he keeps it living. He keeps your suffering living. But you're going to say, nope, that's not living in me. I've been there and I buried that. And so he knows exactly how much time on earth you're wasting. Keep in mind the time on earth. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm 67 here. You know, I mean, you know, how much time do I think I have to pull off my miracle? You know, miracles do take a little bit of time. You know, I know things can go fast sometimes, but, you know, people my age are usually trying to slow down and retire. Not me, man. I'm going faster. I'm headed to the vision. And you know what? So when you get distracted to stand at a graveside, that's something that's already been married. Whenever you get tempted to do that, you just say, no, I'm not going to do it, because I planted a new tree. I planted a new garden box. I planted new stuff. I have borders. I have set up my borders just like Shadona said. I'm ready to go towards my vision. This is what the Lord has called me to do. And oh, there's a little cemetery over there. Oh, no, I'm going to shift into freaking overdrive now. You listen to the sound of a car's engine when how about a race car? How about a tractor or something with a big engine? You shift, diesel. Man, don't you love the sound of a diesel truck? Man, it don't go clackety clack. No, it goes rama lama ding dong, right? And you're gonna shift into overdrive. You're not gonna look at that cemetery. You're gonna shift into overdrive. You're gonna head straight to that vision. You're gonna go right over the place of wreckage, whatever it was. We'll talk about the place of wreckage another day, because man, I got a lot to say about getting around a place of wreckage. Don't you know? I've got plenty, just like all of y'all. And, sorry.
So, no, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I just wanted everybody to remember what I said in the beginning, that her words are so descriptive, right? Right. Been there, buried that. Tell the devil. Been there, buried that. I love it. So Roxy, this was so good. You said so many great things, and listen. I don't care what you do from this point forward. I want you to listen to what I'm about to tell you now. Don't ever change. Like who you are, I absolutely love you.
Thank you.
I love all and everything about you. Like there is nothing about you that is a mistake or why it isn't. You are perfect the way you are. And that's what I love about you. That's why we connect so well, because you're so free in being you, right? You hear me say, well, why you do this and why you do that? Listen, been there, buried that, okay? Like all of these things, all of the insecurities of everybody else that they try to put and bleed over on me. Listen, guys, this whole summit was intentional in that I really wanted God to have his way. I really wanted to present a place, a safe space for those who want to use their book and turn their pain into paper, but really heal from that thing.
Amen.
And every speaker, I'm telling you, like the way that they're presenting, the way that they're sharing their hearts, I am so elated. I'm so full. I can't wait for more. Like I'm thirsty for more.
Right.
Because all of this stuff is good. Like you ever been to a Thanksgiving meal, right? And you have this huge spread in front of you and everything you touch is good. Like everything you pick up, everything. That's how I feel right now. And Roxy, so we didn't tell people like in detail that you're a children's illustrator and you draw. And so how is it that you want people to contact you say for instance, because I have some clients who have been tossing around the idea of a children's book. Mm-hmm. So, and I keep saying, I got an illustrator. I know an illustrator. But now they get to see that I'm not making this stuff up. Like you really do exist. You're a real person. So how do people contact you, Roxy, if they want to do children's illustrator, if they want to do poems? I mean, you're so poetic. There's so many things that you bring to the table. So how can people get in contact with you?
Well, thank you for asking. Jamie's helping me come alive and get on the map. I mean, I've been thinking I'm ready to explode. So let's start the fireworks right now. But I'll get my own website someday. She'll help me, I think. But anyway, right now I got my email, which is rockvanbrown, ROCKVANBROWN @gmail.com. But I love to visit with you. I mean, I got stuff, we all got stuff, right?
Yeah. Roxy invited me. She lives in Texas, you guys, and so she invited me to her home to have coffee. I live in Atlanta. Look, Stone say, why she wasn't invited. Look. Just say, hey, I want to come. Look,
I want to come.
Wani wants to come.
I want to come. We all coming.
Yeah. Bring the cannabis, Wani.
Yeah, we can have coffee. I mean,
Oh, that's always on deck. That's always on deck.
oh,
I'll bring you some CBD. Gonna start you off slow.
don't tell nobody, but my special coffee is from Wally World. I mean, it's a Wally World
I can't with y'all.
$3.80.
So listen, guys.
But it's good.
I know it's good, right?
I would not tell you to buy that kind if it wasn't super amazing, the top of the line in flavor.
I trust it. I trust it. I trust you.
Amen. So I want everybody here that possibly is listening, I want them to say this. You're driving along on the side of the road, and the devil's like, well, you don't really have time to bury that right now, do you? No, let's keep it on. Let's keep it living here. Wait till later, tomorrow, next week, maybe. How about next year? And you tell that devil, hey, I'm pulling over the car right now. I'm going to bury it right here where I'm at. Okay? I'm leaving it behind. I'm burying it. Everybody say this. Bury this now.
Bury this now. And you gotta say it with an attitude. You gotta put your little gangster spin on it. Bury it.
Thank you. That's the last I'm gonna say about it. I know you're sick of it, but you know.
I'm not. Now. Yes. Now. Listen, you guys. Listen. This is so great. This is some good stuff. Roxy said something that I really, really want to kind of say it again, because she said it kind of fast and she kind of like ran by it. But you know me, I'm gonna bring that thing back, right? She said that the enemy is the one that keeps the suffering living. So if you are in a space when you're always constantly thinking about that dead thing, when you're always in a space when you're constantly thinking about, I can't do this because people are going to see that I'm broken. People are going to see that I'm trash. People are going to see that I'm messed up. People are going to see, my favorite one, damaged goods. Because I had a pastor call me damaged goods. When you keep walking around with this thing that is buried and dead and gone, but it's still living up here, it's the trick of the enemy. Because see, that's how you really know that you're anointed. That's how you really, really know that you're a special called to do something that is beyond your imagination, even beyond your way of doing things. Because see, everything that I do, I can't do it alone. Like me by myself, I'm just a country girl from Mississippi. Can't pronounce every word correctly. Can't even pronounce every word. and if you want somebody that's going to jack up a word, I'm your girl. Because I will jack up a word and a name in a minute. But I love them. I know how to spell that sucker. Most of them, except for the ones that Wani said. But if you take my background and you look at where I came from and you look at all the things I've gone through, there's no way that I'm supposed to be sitting here before you able to articulate a sentence. See, according to my past, I'm supposed to have PTSD. I'm supposed to be bipolar. I'm supposed to have multiple personalities. I'm supposed to be schizophrenic. This is what my past tell me. Because I was homeless before. I was raped before. I was raped by my uncle at the age of 5 before. I was beaten by my stepdad my whole high school before. I was divorced. Let's bring it up into some later years in my adults, because all that stuff, most of it happened when I was a kid. But let's talk about what happened when I was an adult. And I was still suffering from the effects of the stuff that happened to me as a kid. My past tells me that I'm supposed to be depressed and suicidal And I was both those things. My past tells me I'm supposed to be broke and homeless and living from check to check, or not even being able to live from check to check, having to steal somebody else's check because I ain't got no check. That's what my past tells me that I'm supposed to be. My past tells me that I'm not supposed to be happy, that I'm not supposed to smile, that everything I do is supposed to be a struggle. That's what my past tells me. That I'm supposed to struggle in life every single day, not knowing how I'm going to pay the bills this month, not knowing if my child is ever going to come back home, not knowing. That's what my past tells me. But you know what I tell my past? Roxy told us today. Been there, buried that. I am not my past. I am not what my past tells me. I don't have to believe it anymore because I've learned the key to my healing. I've learned the key to my survival. And that is in the power of my pen. I get to write my life now. I get to write how it looks. And when I write how it looks, I manifest that thing to happen. I remember a year ago, I was living with Wani, as a matter of fact. And I said to her, I'm moving to Atlanta. Right, Wani? I told her I'm moving to Atlanta. Everybody asked me, well, you got a job? Nope. You got a house there? Nope. You know anybody there? Nope. But I'm moving to Atlanta. That's what I kept saying. And every time Wani would ask me, I was like, the Lord will provide. Right, Wani? Am I telling the truth? I have a witness. I'm not making this stuff up. I said, the Lord will provide. As I sit here before you today, I'm sitting in my office of my house in Atlanta. And the only job I have is my publishing company, full-time. Full-time. Why? Because I didn't believe my past no more. My past told me I was inadequate. My past told me that there's no way people are going to want me to publish their books. Meanwhile, there are people who are saying, Jamie, I only want you to publish my books. Hey, not because of me, but because of who God, right? Listen, Stubbs got me dying over here with her cue cards. Listen, it's not by my will. It is all because I sold out to God a long time ago. I sold out to him and I said, you know what, God? After I left that broken relationship that I wasn't supposed to be in the first time, I made a mistake, but God said he never makes a mistake. God said he would never leave me nor forsake me. And so no matter how many wrong turns I take, no matter how many times I get off the path that he has created for me to be on, God always with his love and his care for me, he refuses to let me go because he loved me that much. He loves you that much. And so he always steers me back around. And sometimes he encamps people around me. People like Wani, people like Roxy, people like Stubbs. They say, girl, you should do this. Girl, I don't think that's a good idea. Girl, you know you were created for better. God always with his love steers me back around to be on the path that he has called me to be on. And so if you're listening to this broadcast right now, thank you for your time and your space. I can guarantee you that this was not an accident that you're here. It was predestined that you be here in this moment to hear these speakers speak. There was something, maybe more than one thing, maybe everything that was said, that was spoken, and quicken your spirit just to encourage you to go on just another day longer. So I thank you for this time. I thank you for spending your lunch break with us. Hey, we're going to be back here tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get up close and personal with the speakers here, you would want to do that. You have to register bit.ly/WTH Summit 19. Other than that, people, I love you with everything that is within me, and I can't wait for tonight at 7. We're going to keep it running. We're going to be here all week, noon and 7, all week, showing you love, giving you love, serving you with what you need to do in your healing phase and how you can write that book or just heal. Sometimes you don't have to write to publish. You can just write to heal. Because the whole goal here is for you to let go of that dead thing and bury it once and for all. So until next time, until 7 o'clock tonight, I love you guys. See you later. Bye. Okay, just a second.